Testing.
The future of money isn't dollars, it's crypto.
That's where Gemini comes in. Not just enough.
You're all more awake.
Jake, I can't type in the chat because I wasn't a subscriber because I had unsubscribed from you, Jake. But yeah, I did stop listening when Dina said that. Yeah, she lives. Didn't Harold live in the? Let's go back a little bit. Harold lived not too far from here.
Concerned about it. Point. They never. You remember?
Jake, I'm over the felon in a gun. I'm not a pedophile. I don't have a gun. I had a gun then, and I will admit that. I'm not a fugitive, and I'm not a liar, Jake. You know?
That was so funny when that came to me because he called me like an hour after I got told that, right? For something unrelated. Anyway, so I told him, I said, hey, this is the newest, this is what happened, you know, you should know, blah, 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 blah. And I said, oh, by the way, he's now like attempting to basically get us swatted by saying that I have a felon who lives in this house that has guns. And that's all you could mean by saying, I'm going to call the cops and tell them there's a felon. That's what that, you know, relates to. So anyways.
There's no felons in this house. I mean, no, there is a felon in this house. Me, I'm the only felon in this house. But there's 0 firearms here. But I bet you there's some firearms in Thomas Duncan's
when I told him, he started laughing. He goes,
hello.
Yeah, I've met Christian. I'm not worried in the least. I said, okay. I was like, but, you know, you're welcome anytime. So come on over.
Hey, look at that. JL, long time no see.
Wasn't this guy just running his mouth about me? Someone sent me a link earlier and said, hey, ignore this guy. He's talking a lot of shit about you.
Just lurking, that's the guy that...
that you suicide trolled? That you tried to make me end my life, Jake, with your friends? That now you don't want to take no accountability for it, Jake? Yeah, that's me.
Story. Just
but what does that have to do? But what does that have to do with me? Someone literally...
I don't know. Just leaking.
What? You don't have anything to do with it, do you, Dina? I hope you don't. I know we grew up in the same town, so you probably have friends over here, Dina. You probably know this area very, very well. I remember back when I was looking at all the Harold stuff when he got arrested for the CP and all that stuff. I looked up his address, and I think they live back over there. I think his sister had air conditioning unit sticking out of her window. Maybe I don't remember, but it was in like that older little subdivision. So you know you're well versed in this area, right, Dina?
Jesus, me of a whole lot of stuff. Sometimes and I sit there and
someone sent me a link an hour or so ago and said, ignore this person completely or running their mouth about you, and I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
See, you know, just looking. I want to say something, and I'm not attacking you. I am not.
Before you even start, Jake, I just want to tell you something too. Do you remember that? Hold on, let me close my door because the cat just pushed it open. And my mom's in there dying of cancer, so I can't wake her up. How are you doing, cuckoo boy? I'm going to get off here short soon.
Attacking you. Okay? But back when you were just lurking and people thought you were a female, okay?
But after December of 2021, they knew I wasn't a female, right, Jake? Right? Right.
I'm not attacking you. You and me used to be cool with each other. We'd chat with this, with that.
Jake, I was never cool with you. I didn't know you. I was cool with you while you were suicide trolling me. That's when I was cool with you, Jake. None of this is cool. None of this is okay, Jake. It's just not. I'm going to have to get off of here and like try to block it out for a little bit to take care of Mom. But I'm not going to forget Jake, and I'm not going to be made to look a liar. And I know what happened to me, Jake. And it's fucked up, and it was fucked up for y'all to do. And I would have never done that to you, Jake. Never.
I I don't understand why suddenly just like you got outed or anything. I don't care about that shit, dude.
Oh, you can have your
man or woman if you want.
yeah. You can keep up that lie, Jake. I know the truth. I know the truth, and y'all know the truth. That's all that matters. That's all that matters to me. That's all that matters to me. I know how the game's played.
I don't care about any of that shit. Okay, banter on YouTube, I'll talk shit, and you know what I'm saying. But like,
Yeah, you can answer and talk shit until you go into people's real lives, Jake. That's the problem.
we always got along.
I don't think I've ever had any interaction with this person, so I don't know what their problem with me is.
Well, I think you did have interaction with me over there on that video I made about you and beautiful, cool Nicole World. Anyway, Jake, it's just tiresome. Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired, Jake? I'm so tired of it. I am so tired of it. It wasn't cool and it wasn't right, Jake. You can all be united behind your bullshit, but there is no justification for what was done to me. Stewie could have trolled me, but it could have stopped right there.
But thank you. Thank you for your donations. Much
If you're still
appreciated.
here, just lurking, what's your problem with me? Since I don't think I've ever even had any interaction with you.
Don't know if it's something you'd get a direct straight answer for.
Curious? They're here. I could ask.
A lot of conspiracy theories around in that head. And that one links to this, and that one links to this.
How did... I'm telling you, Jake. I'm telling you. I know what Brian said. I know what Brian said over there. And I know there's only one way to say that. You know? My head hurts. Oh.
And that one links to that.
Can I say this? I do know based off of the last time they had... It was a video. You played it where they were going off about me and you, remember?
Mm.
And you had... Anyways, someone else did some digging and started sending me some screenshots. That person lives in the town that I grew up in. And the reason I can say that is they posted a receipt from something they did with an address, like in the town I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you know me? Just lurking. I'm just curious. Is that your issue with me?
I don't know you from real life. I don't know if we're the same age. I don't know your date of birth. I know a lot of people in this area, so I don't know. I never knew Harold in real life. I know he lived in Tampa, and I didn't know that his family or whatever lived out this way until I was like researching all that after he got arrested or whatever.
Like, what is it? It's weird. Out of all the places for them to go.
It's weird, you know, Dina, I'll be honest with you. It's more just your association with Jake, to be honest with you. I have a little, you know, bone to pick with Jake. You know, my friend was violated by people he associates. I'll leave it at that, Dina. I'm sure you're just very unaware of all the, you know, comings and goings of this situation. So I have no bone to pick with you personally, Dina. I just like to make some points when people like to point out that I'm a catfish or I'm a bad person or I'm a fraud, that you know, I'm not the only one that maybe at certain times in their life have put up a different front than they wanted to actually show the world because they were depressed or sad or didn't feel good about themselves. So it's really nothing personal about you, Dina. It's just your association to the situation. That's all.
Well, this is where they live, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. That's the town I grew up in. So strange.
That's so good.
It's whatever.
But
Talk
no-
all you want, because honestly, I'm not gonna watch it, and I literally could care less.
That's what I'm telling you, Dina. I just don't watch some of it and it doesn't affect me. That's why I get on here and just say and do whatever the hell I want to. And then if someone wants to listen to it, fine. If they don't, fine. But I got it out of my system. I talked about it. I come on here like everybody else has the right to and say whatever I want. I don't invade anyone's personal space. I don't go to anyone's home. I don't try to read their emails. I don't try to do anything illegal to them, Dina. I don't. I want to come on here and I have the right to say and do as I please. And I have the right to my privacy. That's a fact. I could be the worst person in the world. It doesn't matter. I'm allotted certain rights as a citizen of this country if we're even going to break it down to that level.
If people haven't made their if people haven't made up their minds about me by this point, they never will.
Go ahead.
They
You're a
either
porn
like me-
queen.
Yeah.
You're a
They-
porn queen. You fucking cam up and put on shows for me all the time. You donate.
And
me
Dina, I'm like, because I just have no. If I don't like you, I don't like you. If I do, I don't have anything personal. Like, I don't want you to think like that. Like I'm just. I don't have anything personal about you. I find you entertaining. Do I think you're a little narcissistic? Yeah. Do I think I'm a little narcissistic? Yeah. But as a person on the internet that I do not know in real life, I find you entertaining and you put together well and all that. So I just do want you to know that it's not something personal against you personally. It's just your association. See, I can say that.
thousands of dollars, thousands and thousands. You know, like you get kinky as hell with me in private, and yeah,
It's whatever. At this point, people either like me or they don't. They respect me or they
so does
don't.
Taylor. She gets kinky as hell with me backstage, and Lena does too, and Tex does, and Towley does, and Gail does. Like all of you ladies do. You'll get kinky as fuck with me backstage, you know.
That's what we
Crystal
do.
does.
Yep, that's
Yep.
how we roll.
A little kink never hurt anyone, Jake, right?
Exactly.
A little kink never hurt anyone except usually, but it did hurt me, Jake. It did hurt me. It hurt me, Jake. I remember, certain things just stick in my head. And I just remember you going like, because my brain was so broken back then. It was just, oh, Jake, what a horrible, horrible, horrible person you are for that.
Listen, Christian's sitting downstairs right now, and he cannot hear our conversation at all. But I guarantee if I yelled down and said, "Can I show Jake my boobs?" he'd go, "Okay, whatever."
And I really can't knock you, Dina, being with a bank robber. I mean, my ex is basically an attempted murder. He tried to kill me, so hey, we all have a type,
I said, "Hey, Jake needs $500. Can I give it to him?" He'd go, "Yeah, if he needs it." Like, so all these like random rumors and shit, like it literally doesn't do anything to affect this house. So you're all way concerned about it than we are.
Mm-hmm.
But they were just here, so I figured I could ask. It's not like I ever see this person anywhere else.
Mm.
I actually have never even seen them.
There's probably some reason why they've done what they've just done, and I'll do a stream later and see.
They already did a stream.
And
Someone sent me a link, but I didn't watch it, so I can't tell you what it said.
But I'll tell you this much, just thinking, I'm not your enemy.
Jake, you are my enemy. Jakey Poo. I remember what happened to me. Why don't, if it's just JT, then let me sue JT. I can sue just JT and leave certain facts out. I want JT to understand. I need him to really understand if he was the one behind it, that you don't get to violate people's privacy. I just want to know who was behind it, Jake. And Jake, if someone, honestly, Jake, if someone would have did that to you, what would you do in response? How would you, once you healed and processed everything, how would you approach the situation, Jake? Like, you would just let it go? Oh, that's just the internet. Yeah, people, did a bunch of things and access and saw a lot of stuff they shouldn't have had access to. But you know what? I'm going to get over it. Yeah. No, you wouldn't, Jake. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. But I'm supposed to.
Maybe they did it to stir up the pot with someone else. Sometimes we do. I go into Berg sometimes and donate him $1. I give him the poop emoji for $1.
I bought his membership just because it'll piss Grit Bag off. That's the only reason.
Sometimes.
All I have to say about Bergs is I'd rather have a pee fetish than a poop fetish all day, every day. And I'd much rather have a pee fetish than a fart fetish.
Made a comment about fucking something that was a real life experience.
Oops, goes the wrong way.
Something. Reporting them or looking up something or whatever, and I'm like, oh, so I'm like, I just took the person like Gingy's a real lifer, blah blah doxer or whatever. Fuck, I can't remember what my comment was. And fucking that Raina Squirrel person is posting their fucking something about Jin's fucking nudes or revenge porning or some fucking shit. Like, what the fuck did that have anything to do with
Right.
what I said? You know?
Well, I
It's
don't
like,
know if you
Well, you know, Jake, I would take a revenge porn charge all day, every day to find out the truth.
feel this way, but I find it really intriguing. I think it's very interesting the people that obsess over particular people, me included, and you, and just anybody, Taylor, whoever people like obsess about and like have to know their every move, gotta post every time they make a post, whether it's about that person or not. Like, just to use myself as an example, there's times I've put up memes or a picture of something
Yeah, yeah,
and I
okay.
don't
Where
even have any
is
words to it.
Dina,
And
Dina,
Fridbag will grab
Dina?
that
Okay,
picture
okay.
and make a fucking novel
Let's
about it. And
go.
I'm like,
Let's catch
really,
up
dude?
here.
Like, I posted a picture of a fucking flower. I'm just using that as an example. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, the flower? You mean like the flower that in my grandmother's house? No, no, Dina. Come on now. Don't join in on the suicide trolling, Dina. Don't do it.
Had a whole, novel written about it. It wasn't directed to you, wasn't about you. It was a picture. So I find it intriguing in the minds of these people that get so obsessed with people they've never met and will never meet in real life that they're every week.
You know what? I have the same problem, Dina. I have this one woman who posted something that halfway across the country up, in Northeast there, that should have had no knowledge of anything going on in my grandma's house. My grandma didn't have the internet, no social media. No one should have known anything. And the only way they knew that if they were creepy crawling around her home or they had got the password to her Wise Cam and logged in there real quick and downloaded all those things to the iCloud and jumped off. I don't know, Dina, but I have to pee really bad and Stewie isn't around, so I'll be right back in a second. What are you going in, Lily? Go. Oh my God, it's wasn't clear. How many kitties are in here? 1, 2, 3 kitties. Okay. What's up? Well, I'm back. Hold on. Doing a kitty count. There's 3 in here. Okay. Let me get into this.
That I really believe he wakes up every day, and the first thing he does when he wakes up is looks at my page and looks at your page. Figures out what he can bitch about, carries it on, not 1 post a day, but sometimes 5, 8, 10 posts a day. Like, it's almost like a drug. Like, he needs it.
Jake, do you remember when days were so much simpler? When I was just on here fighting for the right, fighting for my life to post some YouTube shorts. Remember, I wasn't bothering. I wasn't tagging anybody. I wasn't looking at anybody's page, Jake. I tried to post like 1 60-second video a day, and I still got terrorized. Still. Those were the simple days, right, Jake? Don't you wish we could just go back to that?
oh, it's like this. He's so fucking, I don't know what the word is, but it's like I could make a post or make a comment saying that I'm for a walk around the block today.
Mhm.
And his mind thinks Jake went walking around the block with 2 little kids.
Right.
Yeah, and I didn't take that walk around the block.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's the same thing with things that it's
Yeah.
the same thing. Like, I'm
They
sorry,
read
that-
into everything so weirdly deep and far and like,
Oh, whatever. You're a piece of shit, Jake.
Every business I've ever owned or worked for, he has stalked every
Where's
aspect of
that?
my life online.
I
And he
need
has
some
to twist and come up
weed.
with stories as though he's lived my life. No,
Hello,
like,
Rusty
about
B.
it.
How are
The
you
fact that those go to
doing?
his channel, number one, don't think that's weird. The fact that they're using Donna as a reason to why they do it, well, you said you were going to contact her work and show her kids. And
Why are Dina and Donna fighting? That's what I want to know, so I can decide whose side I want to take.
like 1,000,000 times over, that is not what I said. I definitely didn't do that, and it's not what I said. I asked a question. How would you feel if someone did that to you? How would you like it? That's a question. That's not a threat. A threat would be me saying, I'm gonna fucking call your boss, and then I'm gonna call your work, and then I'm gonna do this. That's not what I said. I said, you've done it to me, and now unsolicited, someone sent me information on you. How would you like it if I do that to you? And
This
also someone told me
person,
it's a threat. So I'm so sick of them saying, well, we're doing this to you because of what you said to Dawn. I didn't do anything to Dawn. I didn't contact her work. I haven't shared pictures of her kids or her grandkids.
she's married to a
or
bank robber.
or private information. So you're doing something in case I chose to do all those things? It's like, don't you think if you did that to the wrong person, they would do all those things? Saying, like, do that to you. No, you would probably throw all that shit out there. And I've been watching them do it to me for years, and I haven't put anything out. And I could, but I'm not gonna. So I'm just the lies and the twists.
Look, this is how this deluded fucking Rainer is.
Yeah.
Billings posted yesterday about Mark Terry. You don't get to decide when you speak on when you never speak on the accident. You lie for sympathy, you seek a grief counsellor and a therapist because you killed someone. Right, because Mark Terry thing is the last time he's ever going to speak on the car accident. And so Jim posted, all someone has to do is call the detective on the case and ask, instead of Mark beats around the bush, calling places they have no authority or reason to know about the wreck. It could be a 5-minute thing done, but he's milking the bullshit word salad for a story and YouTube attention. And so I jokingly posted, wow, Jim wants to go real life. How two-faced. Right, did you say to call the detective? You know, these people get in real life. And what does Raina Squirrel say? Oh, wow. Who's new to Gigi post publicly? I missed it.
Oh shit! I wonder if it'll let me.
And me saying Gigi wants to go real life.
Wonder if it'll let me click on a link to join. Let's see if I can join. There. I don't know, because it's the iPad. I think I have to download something. I have to download StreamYard. Let's see. Enter. I don't even know what's. Connect with YouTube. Oh, it's so complicated. Accept all cookies. Connect with YouTube. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Let's see. That's not in there. Fuck. See what that one does for. It's too complicated. It's too complicated. Wait, go back. Go to the Google. Google. Poor Mojo. I don't understand how she's even alive as much as she drinks. Is she still drinking? The last time I remember paying any attention to Mojo, she come online and her whole face was bruised, and it looked like she had got really drunk and fell down and hurt herself or something. It was kind of sad. Jake is a nice person, I thought. Maybe Jake's nice to some people, but he wasn't nice to me. He hurt my feelings. Let's just catch up. I'm not going to go on there because it'll be pointless, I guess. Maybe another time. Let's see.
Gives it away.
I typed here her old name, or the name she's known as.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I maybe remember that name.
Someone type in the private chat and say, okay, Ryan's back
A
listening.
few times.
We can suicide troll him now.
I'm just not one.
I'm telling you, I'm really not always here, even though people say I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like Lindy. She was never here. She was always off on trips and eating. Jackie was always here.
We do too. They're called mini shredded wheat. I'm gonna send you a box of shredded wheat.
Yeah, I'll show you some pictures. Like this is, like I say, in England they call it Weetabix, but down under we call it Weet-Bix. So here, back to screen share, all the images.
Oh, can you blow that up? Because I'm blind. Yeah, so look up American shredded wheat, and you'll see it's the same thing, but ours are in little cereal bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, we have little, we call them Weet-Bix bites things, whatever.
Yeah, they just don't sell it in those big pieces like that here. And then we have frosted shredded wheat. So that's what people eat more than anything, the frosted.
Yeah, that's. I'm looking at the pictures. That's basically the same.
Yeah.
Basically.
I haven't honestly
Was that the cough to know that I'm watching? Like,
tried it since I was a kid.
It's not the same, but it's similar.
Yeah, I haven't
oh,
tried it since I was a
international
kid.
terrorist. International terrorist. Let's get a screenshot of that. International terrorist, Jake.
Maybe I would like it now, but I wouldn't like the one with frosting on it. 'Cause I don't
Hey,
like
BBC.
Somebody say
Look, man, it's
BBC.
coming. Sugar, cream, all good for diabetes.
It's gonna give you the diabetes.
Let me try to clean this thing off. Where's the camera?
Yeah, it's probably not good for you with the cream and the sugar and everything. If you just ate it with the bananas, it'd probably be better.
Even bananas, they'd like too much sugar in bananas. It's like, this is the problem though, you know. It's like, once you're a diabetic, like type 2 diabetes, I'm not talking diabetes 1, those poor buggers have it hard. But when you're a type 2, you know, you can either go hard and try to reverse it, or you can just live with it, right? And I'm kind of at the point where I'm just going to live with it. If I can reverse it slowly, so that, you know, improve it, that's all good.
Did he say he has type 2?
And I'm kind of at the point where I'm just going to live with it. If I can reverse it,
So you're basically giving up, Jake. You're just going to live with it instead of like improving your diet or getting exercise or anything?
You don't think
The
you're gonna make it past 60?
the average life in New Zealand is like 75. So my health condition knocks a good 10 years off your life. So that means I'm down to 65. So I've got like around 10 odd years left.
Oh, you
Follow
don't
the
know what kind
funeral.
of medical advances they'll have.
I know. Are you washing your tongue?
I saw that. He's washing it down with even worse, man, with a Jolt. Do you have Jolt
Man,
soda and Jolt
you were
soda in New
here.
Zealand?
Mans, if you were here, I'd be having a au natural man's breakfast. Oh, your sweet juices. Sorry.
Ew. Oh, bleh.
Your mummy had type 2, and it's all about portion control. Exactly, Lena. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, I'm to the point, like, I know my body, and I know my body
Is Lena really a real person? I thought she was Steve.
with the diabetes. And I know when I eat too much of one bad thing, that how it affects my body. So I'm more like trying to just balance it out and still live life, or what life I have left. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Diabetes runs in my family big time. My mom and dad both have it. My grandfather had it. He lost a leg from it. My aunt passed away from it about 6 years ago because she was in kidney failure on dialysis from it. My cousins had juvenile diabetes. Both of his children have juvenile diabetes. It runs in my family big time.
Like I say, I'm just, you know, I try not to make it worse, but I still live life and eat things that I shouldn't, but to a point.
Yeah, I think a lot of diabetics do that. There's those that are very disciplined and really good with it. My dad is really good with it, and then there's those that that fuck up.
I mean, I could cook dinner every night and eat fucking lean meats and you know, the right amount of it and then all the good vegetables and all this shit. But then there's plain and boring and tasteless and, you know, and it's like, well,
So you cheat.
I like a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one who does that. I used to have an employee that was a diabetic that took insulin, and anytime she didn't show up for work, which was about once every, 2 to 4 months, we knew she was in the hospital in ketoacidosis. Every time she ever didn't show up, we knew someone found her and she was in bad shape, and she would drink regular soda. She would bring a 2 liter of like Coke or Pepsi with her sometimes 2 or 3 of them and drink them all through the day and ate everything she could. And I just never could understand. Her breath always smelled like alcohol, which is when
Mhm.
you know someone is like going into ketoacidosis, because you start to smell like you've been drinking alcohol. And she was young. She was in her early 20s at the time. If she's still alive today, I would be shocked.
See, man does love me. Look at it. I had pencil pie, Macca's last week, KFC the next night, pizza the next night.
Pizza's one of the worst because bread turns right into sugar.
I had a salad. Listen, last week I had a week where it was like I just spent money. All right. And now I've seen how much money I've spent. I ain't spending anymore. It's like, you won't see me eating like that shit fucking for a while again. You know?
I don't know. Everything's bad for us in one way, shape, or another.
And yes, I drink soda, man's Coke, but I drink zero Coke, and that is approved by Diabetes New Zealand. If I drink Pepsi, I drink Pepsi Max, and that is approved to drink by Diabetes New Zealand. So
I like the Dr. Pepper Zero or the Diet Dr. Pepper. That tastes just like regular Dr. Pepper to me.
I mean, I can eat Weet-Bix, but I hate it if it doesn't have sugar in it. I can't eat it if it doesn't have a bit of sweetness to it. You know? I've tried eating it with just fucking bananas, but that's not quite enough natural sugar, if you get what I mean. It's like, but I don't put heaps of sugar on it.
Moderation.
Yeah.
Everything in moderation. At least you're honest and you're not sitting up here going, I follow my diet exactly and do everything as I'm supposed to do. And
Lena, I drink very few sugar drinks. Very few.
I drink
Like once a week I might buy this energy drink that I like because I like the flavour. And I don't even do that every week. Just it's normally my treat when I go to the supermarket once a week, you know. Often I buy one.
I have never had an energy drink ever.
I just love the mango flavour.
I drink green tea all the time, morning, noon, night.
When I make a hot chocolate, I put a teaspoon of sugar in it. You know, like a teaspoon of sugar ain't gonna fucking kill me.
I drink those palm drinks too. I don't actually know how much sugar they have in them. If it's like natural sugar or.
Well, I remember before I was diabetic, I used to drink at least a 2-litre bottle of normal Coca-Cola, right? A day, roughly. And like, that had like fucking, like, I'd go to a diabetics person and I'd pull out all these bags of fucking sugar. And they go, you know, in one of these bottles it has this much sugar. Right? So it's like I look at the huge amount of sugar that was in one bottle of Coca-Cola. But then when I make my hot chocolate and I put a teaspoon of sugar, there's nothing out of fucking compared to drinking what I was the sugar when I drank the normal Coca-Cola. You know? So having a teaspoon of sugar isn't going to hurt me that much. You know, because even when you're diabetic, your body can still handle a little bit of badness. It's just you try not to give it too much, because then it struggles to process it all.
Nobody really has room to talk because I'm sure the majority of us don't eat or drink the way we're supposed to anyways, unless you're super into weightlifting, bodybuilding, or a fitness person. We all eat and drink things that we shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, since I'm on the suicide trolling investigation, I sent my mom a text 5 days ago, so that was 2 days ago. So it's a little bit after that. I was like, hey, I'm going to make these shrimp. Do you want me to make some grits to go with it? And my mom has big She has breast cancer too, and she's probably dying. She has big boobs like Dolly Parton and big, huge hair like this. Shrimp, grits, boobs, hair, suicide troll.
Mans is keeping that cast on her arm so she can bang me on the head with it.
And that was through a text. See, I'm
Get
telling
away,
you,
Charlie, get away.
that's why I think once, because I had put my YouTube, like, you can go through the history. I turned it off on channels and they still knew, but then it was delayed that they knew. So that's when I know they were getting my phone records at that point, because they knew private text through iMessage, and then they'd have to wait till they got however they do it, because there was a lapse from the time I would do it to the time I would go back. Then when I put my VPN on, most of the time, I noticed when it's not on, I would get trolled about where I was on the World Wide Web, and when it was on, I would get more trolled about my emails, because I had no control over who was getting them.
Get away. Bang, bang, bang.
Did she break her arm?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. That sucks.
I won't heal.
Really? That's not good.
Like, I'm not justifying myself. I'm just being real. Mans. I mean, if I go and buy a 2-litre normal bottle of Coke, it has like fucking this big bag, like this fucking, like 2 big huge cups of fucking sugar in it.
David Bulldoze winning in New York. Look at that. He's a winner just like me. David. Are you a winner like me, David? Why don't you put some Just for Men in that, David? Trim it up. Clean it up, man.
Right? Or I drink a hot chocolate and I put a teaspoon of sugar. What's the worst? The fucking drinking the Coke with the fucking 2 cups of sugar compared to 1 teaspoon.
Are you going to meet the future governor? Well, hopefully you give him Nick's address out there in Arizona so you can get that taken care of. I think he took the blame for what the real botter did for years, and then that person, maybe if that story is true, they come in on the tail end of the OG botter, and then they got the blame for, you know what I mean? At least on here anyway. But I've always said, and hey, I know Rachella is a little bit psychic, but I try to, think I might be a little bit psychic, but I'm just better at seeing things that other people don't see. And I've always said, and I've always been consistent about that all the way back pre-pandemic, that Nick Abbott was the OG botter, and that person right there, David Bulldoze, and him were like this. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that, David Bulldoze. Let's see what else. Listen.
Jake, Stella said, Jake, the life expectancy for men is 76.
Look at Stellar. Hey, Stellar, do you ever watch Bonanza? Do you know my grandmother loved to watch Bonanza, Stellar? She sure did. I think she would watch the same one probably about 10 times because she couldn't remember it. And to be honest with you, before she got dementia, she hated Bonanza, hated it, but Jerry liked it. Then when she got dementia, evidently he had convinced her, this is how sick Jerry was too, he had convinced her that she did used to like Bonanza, even though she never liked Bonanza. That's how sick Jerry was over there. And she would forget stuff, and he's like, what's wrong with you? Why can't you remember? Why can't you? Horrible, horrible person, horrible narcissist.
Had 5 years in there.
Let's catch up.
How?
So it's like they take, in theory.
Jake's got all the big money donors over here. He's got Dina, which is known to be generous with her finances. We have Stellar, who is notorious in all the communities for being extremely generous with his finances.
New Zealand, they put you in a cell with
So he can get a day or two of drama in the ladies' drama over there and a little bit of attention from it. Correct, Mr. Preacher Man?
because of my bipolar and I can't get along with people, I'll be put in a cell on my own.
Yeah, they don't care about that here.
They will here.
Yeah, that's your
So
problem.
I'll just fight with the fucker until they fucking put me in a cell on my own. But you know, like I say, so it's basically like you get a self-contained little fucking unit, and you get given 3 meals a day. You don't have to pay the fucking electricity bill, none of that shit. You can sit in bed, lay in bed like Kiwi is right now, and watch fucking TV all fucking day. You know, I can have Netflix and all that shit. So it's like,
You don't get any of that here. Christian always says, if you want to
even
go
if
to
you're
prison,
PS5.
yeah, Christian always says, if you want to go to prison, go back to second grade. He says prison here is like second grade. It's just a bunch of people tuck your shirt and stand up straight.
They have fucking TikTok in prison now. I was over on prison TikTok. They're literally in the like day area streaming on phones that someone snuck in there on fucking TikTok. Prison would be a breeze these days. You get your tablet, you can send emails for 25 cents, whatever. I'm telling you, when I was in jail for a year, like when I was going, you had PBS, they played fucking Sesame Street on the TV that was out there all day. That's all you had. No tablets, no TikTok. You had to stand in the line for an hour and a half, 2 hours to make a 15-minute collect call that cost like $5 back then. That's what you had. The best you could have for any kind of social media is having somebody in your family pay to have the Tampa Tribune delivered to the jail so they could give it to you.
You just don't do that. You're just yelled at like a child consistently, and then you have the rules to follow. And they don't have TV and all Netflix and all.
Last
that
time
shit.
I was in jail
They don't
here
have
in the
any of
county,
that.
they had fucking cable in there now. Cable, I was shook.
Netflix, but you know.
They don't even have TVs. They have like a common TV in like a room. Like if you have a privilege.
And
you
at
get to watch,
Falkenberg Rail, it's an
you know, you
open
don't
dorm
get
setting,
like
so
TV
all,
and
it's like
shit
a
in the
summer
ceiling.
camp
You
in
can have
there.
fucking
You're not locked in a
PlayStation,
room.
You can have fucking all this kind
You
of
just
shit.
have to stay on your
fucking,
bed at certain times
You
when
can't
they do
even
counts
smoke
and
in
stuff in
prison
at
here.
night.
Now you can't smoke in prison here, but I don't smoke.
Yeah.
You know,
So you
so
can get
it's
you a
like,
vape
you
off the
know,
commissary.
and like fucking like
Prison here is not fun. Christian can tell you some horror stories. It's not fun. You get a little more. They're a little more lenient. Like you get maybe a little bit more if you go to federal prison.
Fun is relative. You can make anything fun if you have the right mindset, Dina. You can make anything enjoyable if you just gotta have the right mindset.
But still not. You know, it's still not great. But regular prison, no, it's really bad.
But I'm just saying, like you're not sharing with all the boys, so you bend over and you fucked up the arse, so you don't drop the soap, blah blah blah.
Do you know how many hot men there are in prison with tattoos? I would join the fucking Latino MS-13 or whatever in there.
Bunk bed or whatever, fucking, you know, it's like you got all the basics in life, and you get 3 meals a day. Like, what more would I fucking want for retirement?
Yeah, I mean, because you don't get that here.
Like, so you know,
But
sending me.
But for New Zealand, do you have a high population of incarcerated people? I would think, you know, New Zealand in comparison to the U.S., you know, like you can't have.
We have, for our population, we have a high population of jailed people, and we need more prisons and shit because they're all full
Emilio,
and
you
all that
coming
shit,
in?
you know.
Or you do.
But, so, but I don't know the numbers.
Do you have the death penalty in New Zealand?
No.
After all, joint.
Life in prison isn't even life here.
No.
Only like 10 years or something.
Oh wow. Well, life in prison is life here to a point. I know they can hand out a punishment
Move, don't
that's
knock
like
that over, kitty boy. Move over here with him.
they'll
Go.
say like 30 years to life, and depending on like what they
Where
got
you going?
charged with,
I'm
why
looking for
they're
something,
there,
boy. There it
they
is.
have the
Never mind.
possibility of
Okay,
getting
move. Let me move
paroled
this.
after 30 years or 25 years.
Watch out.
Most of
Move.
the time when they have
There you
like
go.
30 to life or whatever, they don't ever wind up getting paroled. They stay there forever.
Hey, Google, turn the big
But
light
even
off.
when they get the death penalty here, they'll sit on death row for 25
Oh, wait.
years before they're
Move.
executed.
Go down there.
Prison is life in prison here. Oh no, how long is life in prison in New Zealand? 10 years.
Emilio, get down,
Under
baby.
prison,
Stay
New
there. Just
Zealand
wait a minute. I'll roll this
administration, an
joint.
inmate serving a life sentence is not eligible for parole until 10 years of the sentence has expired. There's no automatic release.
Moving
So
me down.
unless they parole you, you're there for life. But if you, I suppose if you get life with no parole, then you're in there for life.
Do you have a high murder rate, like per capita?
Murder.
I'm just curious, like, because you said your prisons are like full and you need more. I'm like, just curious, like, because you don't have weapons, people don't have weapons, so I'm assuming people are not being shot left and right in New Zealand. What are they mainly going
I'd rather
to
be
prison
shot
for
than
life for?
New
stabbed.
Zealand's, New Zealand's homicide rate was 1.1 cases per 100,000 population in 2021.
What was it?
1.1. But that, and the 2019 figure was significantly higher due to the Christchurch mosque shootings, which was our terror act where they killed like 51 people.
Right.
So that year was the statistics were like sky high. We have how many murders in New Zealand per year? Like this is only going to be on average. In New Zealand, the annual average homicides, including murder and manslaughter, was 72 people between 2007 and 2020.
Oh my God, this week.
For 2019 was 131, but that, like I said, that was the 51 people killed in the terror attack.
Right. So for argument's sake, I'm just curious. Google how many murders in Pittsburgh in a year. Just one city. So if you said 72 for your country, how many murders are in Pittsburgh a year?
Yeah, I'm just doing that. I'll do 2024. So they've got the final statistics.
Yeah.
42 homicides in Pittsburgh last year, down 19% from 52 in 2023. So 2024 was the lowest.
But there you go. That's just one city. One city in one town of one state compared to your whole country.
Mm-hmm.
So you just proved a point, because you were talking about Chris back. So when he says, she overreacted talking about anybody saying they had a gun and they were going to shoot her. That's just one city in one town in one state out of the entire U.S.
Across America in 2020, there was more than 24,000 murders.
Mm-hmm. If I turn the news on right now, guarantee you they'll talk about at least one or two murders every single day. Every single day. It's almost like people are just like, immune to it. About hearing about it, like, oh, someone was murdered, oh, sucks. You know what I mean? Because you hear about it every day.
Yep. Hey, I just want to listen to Steve Billings for a few minutes because
No, I'm not. No suicide trolling for you, Jake. Not gonna do it. Anyway, I know the suicide troll game all too well at this point. I could tell Jake was like do 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 do, and they're like do 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 do, and I'm like, oh. Anyway, so it was nice seeing you, Jake. I hope you're doing well. Dina, it is what it is. I'll look you up later to see what date of birth you are. I didn't go to school in this area. I went to school. Even once I moved here, I continued going to school till I dropped out at East Bay High School. So I didn't go to Armwood, but my sister and her husband did, and a lot of people I know did. So you take care, Dina, and any time that you're out this way, just stop by and ring that doorbell, and I will say, hey, how you doing, Dina? What's up, girl? So, if I'm out there wedding one day and you're in town, I know you moved to that house. I can't remember what state it was in, but yeah, you know where I reside. You're welcome to stop by anytime. Jake, I know, Jake. I know. I know, Jake. I just want to know that I know the right person who it is. I just keep for some reason, Jake, let me tell you something. I start to think Linda, but then I don't because I remember the things that were said to me in private on private streams with Alex and stuff, and I feel like I'm being directed the wrong way purposely. But I do know for a fact, Jake, regardless if it was Mike, Stitch's Mike, that did anything, someone would have had, I believe, to be around my friend's home or my home to be able to snatch something within Wi-Fi distance or to log in on my Wi-Fi so it tricks the system to think that it's me something. I think they would have had to be in this area. So I still always go back to JT, Jake. After that, Angelo, Stitches, I always pull back. You know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Savage was here. Maybe Savage, I don't know. I don't know, Jake, but I know one thing that John Thompson was involved, and I know that I'm very damaged and I'm very hurt, and he's gonna have to help with my therapy. I think I've said that before. So, Jake, you have a good one. I wish you nothing but happiness and joy. I pray that your type 2 diabetes gets under control. Maybe just kind of lay off the fatty KFC, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, man, I remember it hurt. It hurt, dude, and I wasn't in the right state of mind, and y'all had to know that. I was never gonna do anything to him. What did I do to Bridget? I bitched about her to Stewie. What did I do? I did those privacy complaints or put up Walrus and the Carpenter clips over there on my channel. And she can't heal from that either. Like Mara and Beth Roach, they just can't heal from that. Well, I'll pray for them to heal. Like I'm sure they pray for me to heal, Jake. It wasn't cool, dude. It wasn't cool. Y'all all got yourself messed into something you should have had never any business in. There's a history that goes back so far that y'all didn't know. And you have a bunch of people that hate me telling the shit behind the scenes where I can't defend my safe self, Jake. That's because she's a fugitive and there's no defending that. So trying to blackmail me was a huge fail, Jake. It just was. Maybe if you would have known the situation more or known me more or known of me more, Jake, you would understand that was definitely not the route to go, to do anything to me in real life. And Jake, you know better than anyone, I gave Alex respect for his family, and you know that, Jake. As horrible as a person as I can be and the horrible things that I have done, Jake, I never did that to him. I never did, Jake. So you remember that when what was done to me, you know, you think about that. Think, Jake, of how I did, and what I did afterwards. I had every right to say because that's all they were words on the internet. I didn't harass anybody in real life. I didn't do anything. That was done to me, Jake. So just remember that, okay? And if you forget, I will remind you. I will make sure that you remember, Jake. So you have a great day, and yeah, just have a great day, Jake. Bye.